It was always his part.
Okie dokie. Artichoke. Rooster. All right. So I'm going to send back the tests here, okay? Do not, I'm going to freeze this right now so you can't see it. Okay, I'm going to send these bad boys back here, Frizz. You can check them out. Okay, you guys all get them back. Should have sent through an email to you. I think so. Well, anyway, your grade was on Sapphire, but I just wanted to send these back to you so we can go over it together. Okay, we can maybe discuss some of these questions and answers, and then we can move on. Okay, we can move on. Katie, remind me then. I want to do that career path presentation. All right. I know. No, she's okay. She's good. All right, so let's roll through this. Did everybody get their email yet? I think, Lily, you get it? Okay, good. All right. So, what is this? Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh, there we go. All right, structuralism. Okay. Structuralism. Well, let's start with the definition. Then you guys can pick out the terms. So, devoted to uncovering the basic structures. Structures that make up mind and thought, looking for the elements of conscious experience. So, what do we think that is? Katie? Structuralism. Yeah, you wouldn't believe how many people get that wrong now. A lot. So, a theory that emphasizes the functions of consciousness and the way that consciousness helps people adapt to their environment. Oh boy, brain buster. Alex, what do you think? Functionalism. Yeah, good job. Again, you couldn't believe it. All right, there we go. Instead of looking at the individual parts, I wanted to examine the whole. This theory examines the whole. Maria, Gestalt Psychology. Good job. Gestalt Psychology. Argue that a true and objective science of psychology should only deal with observable events, stimuli from the environment, and the organism's response to that stimuli. What do we got here? 40. Go ahead. You got it. Behaviorism. Okay, we talked about Pavlov, B.F. Skinner, Leonard Skinner, right? We talked about, who else? Watson, right? Yeah. Little Albert experiment. Okay, so behaviorism. Mental disorders result from the conflicts of the unconscious mind. What do we got here, Lily? Psychoanalysis. You got it. Psychoanalysis. Good job. And the unconscious mind, what's that labeled on the iceberg? The ID. Yep, good job. So Freud believes that's what's driving our everyday actions. Okay, that's what produces our characteristics and personalities. The ID, the unconscious mind. Good job. All right, looks at how our physical makeup and the operations of the brain's influence our personality, preferences, behavior patterns, and abilities. Rooster. Biological view. Good job. Emphasizes changes that occur across our lifespan. Gracie, what do you have for this one? Okay, yep, good job. Humanistic. Or is that developmental? No, we're good. Our actions are a direct result of the way we process information from our environment. What do we got for this one? Might be a little tricky. We're going to talk about this approach here today. What do we got here? Megan? Cognitive view. Good job. So cognitive behaviorism go close together, right? They're hand in hand pretty much. So we're going to talk about cognitive view today. Okay, and realistically, it relates a lot with behaviorism. Okay, how we're trying to learn from our environment, right? Whatever is presented to us, stimulus, or, reactions, okay, reflex, things like that. Viewpoint, which emphasizes human ability, growth, potential, and free will. So this is the one I was thinking of, Gracie. So this is the humanistic approach, okay? And then Emphasizes a change across our lifespan. That's developmental view. Okay. All right, last one. Emphasizes the importance of social interaction, social learning, and a cultural perspective. Okay, this is very similar to cognitive view, but this is using more cultural background, all right, cultural stimulus to shape how we, act in our everyday actions. Okay, how culture shapes us. Okay, obviously around the world, there's different cultures, different languages, religions, customs, and just shows how people are, their upbringing, their development. Okay, nature versus nurture, right? Okay, obviously these people learn different characteristics depending on their culture. So what do we got for this one, the last one? Aiden? Yep, sociocultural view. Good job. Maybe next year we can have a sociology elective. That would be cool. What do you think, Rooster? Would you take it? If I'm teaching it, will you take it? All right, cool. All right, in Sigmund Freud's view, the role of the ego is to do what? It's to do what? Nina? What do you have here? In Sigmund Freud's view, the role of the ego is to do what?
I'm actually having trouble getting that right now.
Oh, you can't? Oh, okay. Did you get the email or not?
I actually didn't have Gmail.
Oh, you did? Oh, jeez. Well, maybe you should see Mr. Rupp for that. I don't know.
Yeah,
That is weird. How about after the class, we'll send you up? Does that work? Katie?
Mediate among the ideas.
Yeah, good job. So the ego is yourself, right? So you're trying to understand the devil on your shoulder, the angel on your shoulder, right? Your ID is trying to push your inner drives, your pleasure-seeking principle, right? And then the superego is trying to represent this good moral character. Your ego is yourself, okay? You're trying to mediate amongst the two, okay? Good job. That's what Freud believed, anyway. This man opened the first psychology laboratory in Germany. Rooster. Wilhelm Wundt. Yeah, it's like V's instead of W's. I think it's cool. Wilhelm Wundt. Good. All right. What did Freud consider to be the role of the ID? TC. Yeah, good job. Good job. So that's deep underneath the water. We're trying to suppress those ideas, those pleasures, those secrets, right? Ooh, secrets. What is the role of the superego? Megan?
To provide a conscience and awareness of morally correct responses and behaviors.
Yeah, good job. So your good moral character, all right? Your good moral character. We're trying to represent these good moral characteristics and try to shape our life around those good moral characteristics. Do we show the superego all the time? Alex? Do we show the superego all the time? Are you really nice all the time? Are you a good moral person all the time? You try to be, right? You try to be, but not all the time. Not all the time. Alex, you're a good guy. Don't get me wrong on that. What are the 4 goals of psychology? 4 goals of psychology. Alex, what do you got? Bennett, sorry.
Description, explanation, prediction.
Good job. Description, explanation, prediction, and influence. That was like one of the first things we went over. So I hope you remember it. Remember it for the test anyway, right? All right. Renee challenged the belief that stated the mind and the body are 2 separate entities. What do we have? Maria? Dualism. Good job. How they work together. All right. People matching. Sigmund Freud. Well, let's just go through the terms here. Developed the theory of the psychological health predicted on fulfilling innate human needs and priority culminating in self-actualization. What do we got here? Self-actualization. We didn't go over this yet. We're going to go over this here soon. Okay, but this is one of your vocab terms. Go ahead, Katie. Yeah, Maslow. Okay, we're going to talk about the humanistic approach tomorrow. All right, tomorrow. I know what you're thinking. This guy here tested on something we didn't go over yet. But it was one of your vocab terms, right? So you probably should have known. Yeah. So the hierarchy of needs we're going to discuss and go over. Okay. Father of American psychology developed functionalism approach to psych. Aiden Forney? William James. Good job. William James. Good. German psychologist, the father of psychology, developed structuralism approach to psych. Sarah? Wilhelm Wundt. Yep, good job. A behaviorist psychologist, he developed a theory of operant conditioning, the idea that behavior is determined by its consequences, by reinforcements or punishments. Okay, tested on rats. Gracie? Good job, Skinner. Good job. Founder of psychoanalysis, a clinical method for treating psychopathology through dialogue between a patient and a psychoanalyst. Developed iceberg theory. TC? Yeah, Sigmund Freud. Good job, Sigmund Freud. All right, is there any questions on that, guys? We good. So if you ever want to retake a quiz, let me know. Okay, we can do that. And then I take the average of each quiz, okay? So your first score, your second score, take the average. All right? Those of you at home, gave you 24 hours. If you didn't do it, sorry. Nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. Okay. Here we go. Moving on. Bell ringer. Yep. Bell ringer. Forgot there for a moment. So describe developmental psychology and Piaget's cognitive developmental stages. There we go. Developmental stages. No Rebecca today. She's skipping out. She up at Penn State for the weekend, Gracie. Oh, really? Oh, nice. Good. Good. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Give me 1 second. Hang on, man. Check what's going on. Oh, very good. This day in history, 1951, seedless watermelon. Nice. Purdue University thought, well, you know what we could really do? You know what would be really innovating? What? Let's make a seedless watermelon. I actually enjoy eating the seeds in there so I could spit them out. When I was little, I used to spit them at people. Now you can't do that, COVID. Can't do that. Right, Katie? Don't even attempt to do it. You'll get arrested. Especially my brother. He used to get it all the time. Bless you. Oh, current events. Katie and Nina for Friday. Okay? So something pertaining to psych. And current. Current. So no 1972 flood or no D-Day invasion. All right, this one's a little bit of a longer one. I know I didn't get to finish the last stage on Thursday, but actually your slide, you have it on the slides, right? Right, Lily? I think you do. You have it all on the slides, don't you? The slides, the developmental stages. Didn't I send out the PowerPoint? Oh, well, hey, don't look at it then. What was Serena up to this weekend?
Slept.
Slept some more. Gotcha. You did pretty good. Oh, you think? So you think it's their division this year? Unless the Dolphins have something to say about it, right? How about Aaron Rodgers?
I didn't see it.
You missed a good one. He looked really good. Who do you like, Rooster? NFL. What about college? You don't pay attention to that either. If you had to say, probably Penn State. Don't take my sociology class next year now. How are we doing? Do you need more time? I know there's a longer one. I'll give you a little bit more time. Forney, I posted on a classroom for 6th period then for you guys what to do. So you're in charge, okay? All right. So I posted the lesson on the videos on YouTube, so you can just watch those. Don't play them too loud, so whoever the sub is, they're just like, wow, they're playing all these. But then I attached a video for the literacy test. Okay, so just check that out. Harvard students trying to do it. It's really tough. So I checked that out, and then I post a literacy test under chapter 1. So give it a whirl if you get the chance. Well, you should have a chance to. I mean, it doesn't take that long, but it's tough. Good luck with it. Oh, okay. I see what it is. Now I can look at it. It's charged up, ready to roll. All right, so is this psych or okay, history? Good. All right, good job. All right, so let's go over this real quick. Put this over here so I can see it at home. Okay, good. All right. Let's go over this real quick, guys. So the first stage. So Piaget's developmental stages, right? Okay, the first one, what do we got? TC.
Sensory motor.
Sensory motor, yeah, good job. Sensory motor. What age is that? What does Piaget say that the age group involved with the sensory motor? Yeah, good job. So we'll say 0 to 2. And then what are some characteristics that fall under sensory motor stage? Yeah, like what babies do, right? They just walk around, they grab things, they're feeling things, they're putting things in their mouth, they're trying to taste things, they're constantly trying to sense the world around them, okay? So you just say senses. Sensing world around them. Okay, so communication really isn't big during this stage. Okay, there might be word groups like mom, dad, things like that, but nothing too crazy just yet. But for the most part, the sensory motor stage, It's just how babies are always just trying to sense the world around. Okay, whether it's feeling things, smelling things, hearing things, touching, biting, tasting, you name it. Okay, all right, good. So that's kind of what we can put for that. Object permanence, what's that? Object permanence. What is object permanence? Katie, you remember? No? Does anyone help her out? Lily? You know how to describe it? Remember like a peekaboo, right? Peekaboo, okay? Or if you're like holding a teddy bear or something like that, and you put it underneath a blanket, a baby's just like, what? Where did it go? Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Okay, so that's what object permanence is. So babies, when they get closer to 2 years old, they can start to figure out, you put it under a blanket. Nice try. You got me on that one before, but it ain't going to happen again. Okay, that's what object permanence is. Okay, so whenever the object goes out of sight, and eventually when they get to year 2, close to year 2, babies and toddlers, they can try to figure it out that, you know what, it's not gone for good. It's just, out of our visible sight. Okay, that's what object permanence is. That falls under sensory motor as well. Okay, all right, 2. What we got? 2. What's the second stage? Lily?
Pre-operational.
Pre-operational, good. And what's that? What age group falls into that?
2 to 7.
Yeah, 2 to 7, around there.
During this stage, they talk, walk, they experience egocentrism, and have imaginary friends.
Good, okay. So communication, that's a big one. Okay, communication. So learning grammar, okay, reading, writing. Okay. Reading. Writing. Right. Walking, like you said. So there's some sort of reflexes and kinesthetics involved, right? Job, so walking, coordination. All right. Many people involve the pre-operational stage to intuitive age. Okay, intuitive. That's just pretty much imagination. All right, imagination. So intuitive age, the imagination. And then egocentric. I'm glad you mentioned that. Okay, during this stage, kids can only view the world through their own eyes. Okay, they really can't establish themselves standing in someone else's shoes. Okay, they only have their opinions based on what they know. All right, they're not really viewing the world in, let's say, someone else's shoes. Okay, everything's just revolved around that. All right, good. Okay, and this is also the why stage. You know how kids are always constantly asking why. Okay, they're always questioning everything. Right, they're always wondering why the world works the way it does. Okay, why people do the things that they do. All right, they're always questioning. They're always asking questions. Okay. All right, good job. Next one. Next stage. Alex.
Concrete operational.
Yeah, concrete operational. What years fall for that?
7 to 11.
7-Eleven, yeah, the grocery store. You go there and get Slurpees, right? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, 7-Eleven. Good. All right, what characteristics fall under concrete operation?
Operational thought.
Yeah, good job. So we have rational thinking. Emotions, right? I don't think I mentioned that the last time. Emotions. Relationship building. Okay. So forming relationships outside of our family. So we're building friendships with peers. Okay. We're forming groups. Okay, where we might meet friends that share similar interests to us. So we're joining sports. Okay, we're including in different types of hobbies. Okay, we're enjoying different things like fishing, and we base friends off of what we like, off our hobbies. Okay, so relationship building. Good job. Emotions, like I said before. So we're having more emotions based off of how we see others and and we're trying to break this egocentric thought. It's still there in the concrete operational stage, but we're lifting up out of that towards the end, towards when we get to 11 years old. Okay, we're viewing the world in other people's shoes. Okay, you guys got that? Another thing is deductive reasoning. This kind of goes with how we understand rational thought. Okay, deductive reasoning is what? I think I went over that briefly. I know it's Thursday. I'm sorry about that. Alex, what is deductive reasoning? Do you know? Yeah, good job. All right, so we're understanding concepts. Okay, we're understanding, like, let's say if I turn this light on over here, I never saw a switch before. I flip it on, and then, well, to turn it off, I must have to flip the switch down. Okay, with mathematics, so 3 plus 5 equals 8. We know that 8 minus 5 equals 3. Okay, that's what deductive reasoning is. We can understand concepts and functions and how they work around us. Okay, good job. All right, I don't have enough room here, but I'll erase it. Are we good with this? Needing more time to jot some of this down. I know it's really small, but if you need to, you can come up. Last stage here. This is the one I didn't really get to go over. Number 4, we got what? What is the last stage here? Alex Bennett, do you remember?
Formal operational.
Yeah, good job. Formal operational. Good. And then what time frame does that usually fall?
11 years old.
Good forever, right? Good job. So 11 to end of time, I guess you could say. All right, so formal operational, what kind of characteristics fall under formal operational? What do you think? Or didn't I go over this one? I don't think I did. So this is like theoretical thinking, okay? So theoretical thinking. Okay, we often hypothetically think, right? So we can maybe understand different types of reasoning behind things if we apply certain variables to it. Okay, so hypothetical. So this kind of falls under science fiction movies and novels. Okay, we can understand that, you know what? Yeah, space travel, would it be a thing in the future? Maybe, but at the same time, we understand that this is really not real. This is not feasible at the time. But we often fall under this entertainment just so that we can escape from our everyday lives. So this is setting up something that we can rationally think about entertainment. Okay, we can understand that, you know what, science fiction, that's great and all, but at the same time, this is not really, this is hypothetically thinking. Okay, does that make sense, guys? All right. All right, so also logical thinking. More rational thoughts. Okay. Applied nature. So applied nature, we're using the concepts and understanding that we built over the years of learning and education, and we're applying it to our everyday life. Okay, so this is how we live. Okay, this is how we make economic decisions moving forward. Okay, like buying a car and managing our funds. Okay, and managing our assets. Okay, how we can use credit to try to purchase different types of items and finalize goods. Okay, so we're rationally thinking. We're using concepts and understanding that we built over the time frame that we've been living and applying it to our everyday life. Okay, we can hypothetically think. Watching science fiction novel or science fiction movies and reading novels and understand, yeah, this isn't real, but it's pretty cool. It's like a little getaway for us. Okay, and that's what the formal operational stage is. All right, this is kind of the last stage that Piaget thinks that we've stopped learning and understanding new concepts. Like, this is it. Okay, obviously there's a lot of criticisms towards this. Okay, obviously past 11 years old, I feel like we learn more concepts and understanding of the world and educate ourselves a little bit more past 11 years old, but that's what he believes. From 11 to here on out, we're in this concrete operational stage, or this formal operational stage, where we are lifelong learners, okay, that we learn continuously throughout our life. Does that make sense, guys? We good with Piaget's developmental stages? Okay, good, good. So a developmental approach is how we're learning, how we're observing different events and applying it to ourselves over our lifespan. Okay, developmental phase, developmental approach. Okay. All right. Any questions at all? We good? All right. The only thing I want to go over today is cognitive approach, which is very similar to behaviorist, but it's a little bit different. Okay, a little bit different. They go hand in hand. I hate when that doesn't come up. All right, the cognitive view. So this is how we use our minds to cognitively develop different approaches to our life. Okay, how we're applying what we learned and educated ourselves for over many years and applying it to our lifestyle. Okay, how we're trying to live and move forward. Okay, how we're processing information from our environment. How we're adapting to become better people. Okay, morally better people. How we're becoming smarter, more educated, more understanding of the environment around us. So cognitions are thoughts, expectations, perceptions, memories, and states of consciousness. All right, we'll talk about where memories and emotions are stored within the brain when we get to chapter 3 or 4. Okay, but for the most part, cognitive view goes along it goes along well with the behavioralist approach. How we're using the environment around us, how we're reacting to certain stimulus that's presented to us, okay, how we're learning, how we're perceiving information, okay, how we build an understanding of the concepts that we take in, how we visualize these certain concepts, how we're applying memories to certain sensations, okay. For instance, let's just say with food, right, TC? You love food, don't you? Yeah, well, what's your favorite food? Chicken tenders? Where do you go to get chicken tenders? Anywhere. So isn't there like a place that you love to go get chicken tenders at, like Popeyes or KFC or something like that? No? Jeez, man, you're difficult. You're difficult. But for me, anyway, I love Prima Pizza. Prima was like this pizza place, this Vietnamese-style pizza. I know what you're thinking. What the heck? In Valley View? This is unbelievable. But it was really good. It had a sweet sauce. They had like a sweet dough around it, too. It was really fluffy. And you eat 2 slices of it, and you're full because the dough was so thick. The cheese was pounded on there really thick. The sauce was sweet. Okay. And I built these conceptions, these perceptions of what pizza should be like. Obviously, you're thinking, sweet sauce pizza. What the heck is that? Well, that's something that's tailored toward our area, towards Schuylkill County. All right, sweet sauce. So whenever I think of pizza, I'm like, oh, the sweet taste of the sweet sauce pizza. That's something I really like. So whenever I get pizza that's not sweet sauce, I'm like, this is okay, but it ain't the original, the OGs of Prima or anything like that. So that's what I was kind of getting at with cognitive view. We're using our sensations, okay? We're using our memories to base our understanding of what we're trying to perceive moving forward, okay? How we're learning, how we're educating ourselves, and cognitively, using this cognitive approach to learn moving forward. All right, so the cognitive view, this is the basis of this nature versus nurture idea, okay, with language acquisition. Okay, many people believe that language is actually pre-wired in our brains, that we were ready like an open slate to understand whatever language it is that we're going to learn depending on what culture we're from. All right, so this is kind of grabbing that socio-cultural perspective and applying it to the cognitive view. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you think language is already pre-wired in our brains, or do you think we learn it over time? DC, what do you think? You think it's more of a nature versus nurture? What do you think, nature or nurture for this? Nurture? Okay, why do you say that?
Well, to be born in the U.S. and have parents speak a different language.
Yeah, and like the accents too, right? I mean, your parents could, if let's say they were born in another area, different country, they're going to have an accent. But if you're born in the United States, you might have a slight accent because you're around your family, you're around that environment. But once you go to school, you're around your peers, your friends, okay, you're going to kind of lose that accent after a little bit of time. All right, good job. So that's nurture, Katie.
Well, they say that when like a woman is pregnant with a baby and you talk to it,
Yeah.
they can start to kind of understand that you are talking to them.
Yeah.
Probably not they won't understand words.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you do that, once the baby is born, it'll make the process a lot faster. Oftentimes, probably the most used word that a woman uses to a child or a father to a child is no.
Yep.
They learn that pretty quick.
Oh, they do. Yeah, you're right.
So
You're
I
right.
mean, they're probably not going to come out knowing senior level college grammar. So
yeah, exactly. That's a good point. I usually have a reading at the start of the year called the Wild Boy of Aeron. Right? They found this wild boy out in parts of forested area. I think it's close to France, and he didn't have any type of learning or education or any type of language. He couldn't speak. All right, but I think this goes along to the point where, if you're not presented this information, if you don't learn these concepts, this language, if you're not presented or around it for many years, it's going to be hard for you to, understand and build concepts of learning and understanding language. So I think it leans a little bit more to the nurture, but for the most part, Noam Chomsky believes that, this nature of language acquisition, we're already like a blank slate with this, okay? We already have it pre-wired in our brains that we're going to understand language and communication, okay? It just depends what language or form of communication you're going to have, right? Okay. All right, so that's kind of goes along with the cognitive view. This language, is it nature or is it nurture? Are you born with this blank slate or with this idea that language is pre-wired in our brains, or do we have to learn it over time? Okay, and I think it's maybe a mixture of both. I don't know. I think it's maybe a mixture of both. Okay. Oh, there is another article too. I had ancient Egypt. Okay, it was a pharaoh who he set two boys aside inside a temple for many years, and there's no interaction with people. Okay, and he was wondering to see if this native language of this Egyptian language would ever come out in the boys, that this communication skill, that they'll just acquire it by being born and not interacting with people. And he thought he was on the right track because some of the grunts and moans that the kids would say, he was trying to base it off of words that in the Egyptian language, but it really didn't work out that way. And it was very unethical because he just kind of he pushed these kids in this dark room, or not a dark room, but in a room separate from interaction of different people. And I thought it was interesting in a way. He was trying to see what the actual language is that you're born with. So, all right, hey, we'll see you guys later. Take care. Have a good one.